of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Give me some straight talk, and hold the sugar, please. Straight talk, sounds pretty sweet to me. Talk to me in circles and some mumbo jumbo jive.
Good afternoon and welcome to all our listeners out there. This is Straight Talk. I'm your host, Gregory Colley, along with my co-host, Martin Aubrey. We are broadcasting live on Global 99.5 FM from our studios located Shirley Street and Elizabeth Avenue in downtown Nassau, in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Today's show is being brought to you by Doc's Pharmacy, located Robertson Road, by Massa Assist, located Village Road, by Nature's Gifts Fresh Roasted Peanuts, located Market Street South, by Sammy's Chicken, 5 locations to choose from, by First Choice Appraisals and Sales, by Geneva Brass Seafood, located Eden Street, off Farrington Road. Also, by the 6th annual Fun Run Walk, this Church of God, the Bishop Edward N. Mizik annual Fun Run Walk. To participate in our show today, you can call us at 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. You can also text us at 565-8896. That's 565-8896. In addition, we are streaming live at www.globalradio995fm.com. That's www.globalradio995fm.com. For those of you who are in the Family Islands and you don't have access, you can reach us in that way. You can also reach us via the internet, or you can download TuneIn Radio on your smartphone, and you can catch us on TuneIn Radio. Just search for local radio station, look for Global 99.5 FM. Like us and follow us on TuneIn. You can also watch us live on Facebook. We are streaming live on Facebook. In your search engine, you can type in Global Radio 995. Follow us on Facebook and send us your comments, and we will react and we will respond to your comments live via Facebook. Today is a beautiful day in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, cloudy skies, but nevertheless a beautiful day, and we thank God for this wonderful day, the day that we have never seen before and we will never see it again. I want to say good afternoon to our producer and engineer, Nathan, to my co-host, Martin Aubrey. Good afternoon, Martin. How are you today?
I am doing quite fine. And how are you?
I am in top shape and getting better.
Good afternoon to our listeners out there.
We had a wonderful day live. I hope some of our listeners watched us live on radio yesterday. Church service came live via Global 99.5 FM. I hope you tuned in and was able to listen. And if you did, you can give us your comments. Let us know what you think about the broadcast and whether you were able to join us.
Yes, sir. And we woke up to this morning to quite a number of incidents taking place in New Providence and throughout the islands of the Bahamas over the weekend. We heard about the 24-hour wait in the accident and emergency unit of the Princess Margaret Hospital because of a flood crisis. Then we were told that BAMC is costing the Bahamian taxpayers some $10 million per year in operations and salaries, and that the Christie administration, since the implementation of BAMC, has spent over $80 million. And then the Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sons, a couple of contracts for some clinics in Cat Islands, in Salvador, Rum Key, In Cat Island especially, $11 million for clinics in Cat Island that will service some 6 persons per day. We found out from the Minister of Finance that the mortgage relief scheme that the Christie are touting as a success story failed to hit its target. And then I saw our Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, joining in the cowbell shaking at the Junkanoo Summer Festival, Arawaki, this weekend. The Bahamas Insurance Association is questioning the validity of national health insurance in the hasty move by the Christie administration, and saying that they have left out, that is lacking many elements, key elements, and the legal framework for national health insurance. And then I saw the Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, telling us that there must be consequences, that they are not interested in any blame game, but there must be consequences if they discover that something went wrong somewhere in the operations of various government ministries, departments, agencies, quasi-government corporations, as far as the ministers, those responsible for those entities are concerned over the last several years. But I was engaged in a discussion after church yesterday with a close friend. Was the good old days. You remember the good old days? Somebody used to sing one song called The Good Old Days.
I believe it's Gladys Knight.
I love that song. Remember? Yes. Do you remember the good old days? Well, it was a time to reminisce on the events of the past, going back 30 years and more, when life for us in the Bahamas seemed to be so simple, so enjoyable, so carefree, safe, secure. We're humble. But nowadays, there are many people among us who are continuously looking back each and every day. They're still living in the past, and they're hoping for the return of what they determine to be the good old days and how life used to be. Well, my friends, I've come by this afternoon to tell you that it's time to stop, to look, and to listen, because the good old days are gone. And the sooner we learn to live in the present and plan for the future, the better. I come by also to tell you that I realized very quickly that a new day has dawned in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. In politics, in governance, it will no longer be business as usual. The status quo is kaput, fini, over and done with. The way things used to be 5 years ago came to an abrupt end on May 10th, 2017. This new government, led by Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, is closely examining each and every area of government. They're trying to find out the cost of maintaining each and every government ministry and department. They're trying to find out the cost of staffing each and every government department to determine whether the country can afford business as usual. And whether or not the country is receiving value for the taxpayers' money. And while we knew for quite a long time that things were tough in the Bahamas, we knew that. We could see it every day. Things were tough. But the previous government was going to great lengths to project a rosy picture. But the stark reality is now being unveiled by the Minister administration. And yes, there are cries, and there will be more cries of victimization when the cuts and the downsizing is being made. But in order to see new growth, in order to see new opportunities, some things must happen. And along the way, there must be and there will be some casualties. And we're being told that this will take place in the short term. And towards this end, we have already heard pronouncements from the Ministry of Tourism and also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that they plan to streamline the number of overseas officers as a result of fiscal right-sizing. Well, we certainly will be hearing much more about this because, as I said at the outset, this is a new day which is dawning in the Bahamas. And I believe Bahamians everywhere will no doubt be called upon to play your part, to play your role in helping to rebuild this country. Because, by and large, I believe Bahamians want to see happy days once again. And we must concentrate on helping to build this country.
Well, that's a very good synopsis. I believe that every Bahamian would want to see this country turn around. That's the reason why I believe the Bahamas voted in the way it did, because it was not satisfied in the direction in which we were headed. And what is really upsetting me, and I know that it's upsetting other Bahamians, is the fact that every day or every other day we are hearing conflicting information, reports as to the true financial position that we are in. Now, I read briefly this morning where in the newspaper, some $80 million was expended on BAMSI.
Yeah.
$80 million, ladies and gentlemen, $80 million. What have we to show for $80 million? What have we to show? I have heard that leading up to the general election, some $240 million worth of contracts were issued leading up to the May 10th election. $240 million. Now, I want to remind you that during the budget debate, much has been made about the comments made by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, admonishing him, chastising him that it was the wrong speech at the wrong time. What did the Progressive Liberal Party members actually meant by that characterization? Well, we're beginning to see why they were saying it, because what is now being revealed is that what they've been telling us, albeit we knew, we had a good idea, we had a gut feeling that what they were telling us was not the truth, because it was a matter of trust, and we could not trust what they said to us. And I think that is the reason why the Bahamian people took the stance they did by overwhelmingly voting them out of office, because they knew that they could not be trusted. They had put this big tax on us called VAT. And whenever I go down the street and I see the sign by Potterski, it have this sign say VAT proof, I think about VAT 19.
Yeah, that's about what, 40 proof?
40 proof.
Yes.
It says VAT proof. They got us drunk on the idea that the tax panacea to all of our problems.
But 7.5% is not too much as far as the content of the 40 ounce. If you look at the 7.5%, you're talking about volume?
Well,
VAT proof, you say.
VAT proof.
Not alcohol proof.
Not alcohol proof.
But they drunk.
They drunk us.
Get us drunk on 7.5%.
7.5%.
That's what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah. That's what they got us drunk on.
Now we're back on course.
Yeah, they got us drunk on 7.5%. Being the kind of people we are, we give them a chance. We say, let's see.
Yes, yes.
We give them a chance. And they, remember, they brag all over the world saying how, in fact, other people were saying,
experts came from around the world.
Around the world,
the
implementation was
smooth.
Yeah.
And it's operating better the Caribbean region, who are charging much more. So
now let me tell you something.
Where we headed?
You are a Caribbean man, like I am a Caribbean man.
Yes, sir.
I've traveled not extensively as you have throughout the Caribbean, but I've traveled to many countries that had VAT 20, 25 years ago.
And most of them don't have a strong dollar.
They are broke.
They don't have a strong dollar. Money has no value.
They are broke.
You change $10 US and you get a basket with change.
You would almost need a truck to take away.
Now we're on the right track. How much money they counting when they change?
They have to change. Our $100 bill will almost need to go to a $1,000 bill in order to absorb.
Yeah, you need a satchel to carry around your money. That's the truth.
Yeah,
that is the truth.
So we knew that VAT was not going to be a panacea to our problems. But they sold it as if, and the way they sold it, they said, look, we're going to take that VAT money and pay down our debt. Did they not say that?
That's what they said.
They duped us with 7.5% of alcohol.
7.5% interest.
Interest.
Yeah. On VAT.
On VAT.
On the dollar.
On the dollar.
Yes.
Now, we collected over $1 billion.
1.14 billion in the first 18 months.
And we still ain't got on the show for it.
Well, they say they paid 500 million on the national debt. That's what they say.
But it had increased.
And they also gave back to the merchants 300 million plus.
That's a drop in the bucket.
So they gave that back. Yeah.
That's a drop in the bucket.
That's what they say.
Yeah. Merchants, certainly are not clicking their heels.
So of the 1.14 billion, they say they spent 800 million in concessions and givebacks and debt reconciliation.
Debt repayment.
Yes.
But we have nothing to show. I don't care what they say they do with it. We as a country still cannot see any tangible benefit from VAT. Nothing. All we had was big talk. And every time You ask where the VAT money gone? They can't tell you.
They say it gone into the
Remember what?
consolidated fund.
No, that's after what? After remember
Well,
what Halkitis said?
Halkitis was
Halkitis told us that $250 million went to buy the ship,
the Sandy Bottom project.
for the Defense Force.
That was a lie.
Then he tell us some money went elsewhere.
That was a lie.
Then he say it went somewhere else.
That was untrue. And then the Prime Minister came in the House of Assembly back then, the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie, and he told us he would give us a synopsis, blow by blow, penny by penny, to show you where the VAT money has gone. 2 months later, the Prime Minister gave us a statement in the Honorable House of Assembly. And in essence, he threw Halkitis under the big yellow bus.
He rolled the bus over him.
Throw him under the bus. And they didn't tell us that they spent $80 million on BAMC. They didn't tell us that. That was a part of the hidden costs. But back to VAT. You say it was 7.5%, and they say it is VAT proof.
Well, it ain't VAT proof. I'm saying to you, there's a sign by one liquor store by the bridge
Yes.
that say they have some stuff selling VAT proof.
But they didn't say VAT exempted. It's not VAT exempted.
Not VAT exempted.
VAT
Exempted.
proof.
VAT proof.
Yeah, because it's got some content in it that could get you inebriated.
And that's how the Bahamas government, the PLP government, had us.
Because I'm
Thinking that we were going to be free of debt. They're going to pay down the debt. But what is more troubling to me today, ladies and gentlemen, what is troubling to me is these new revelations. We're finding that the country's finances are worse than it was being reported. And what upsets me is the fact that it appears that it has been deliberate distortion of the truth, deliberate, or we can call it deliberate lies that have been told to make the books look all fine and dandy for the outside world.
crunching the numbers.
Yes, we were fixing the numbers to tell a story. Apparently,
And now they say
That was
you
not true.
shouldn't say what you say in the budget because you gave Moody's an opportunity to pounce upon the country.
well, if it ain't what it is, we call ourselves a Christian nation, and we know that God hate liars.
Speak the truth.
You gotta speak the truth.
Speak the truth.
We are called upon as a Christian nation to be honest,
Speak
to
the
be
truth.
truthful,
Speak the truth.
even if it has to means that we will
Truth
suffer.
will make you free.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, this is Straight Talk. I'm your host, Greg Colley, along with my co-host, Martin Albury, and you are tuning to Straight Talk. We are going to come back after we hear from our sponsors, and you can join us in our conversation. 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp or text us at 565-8896. That's 565-8896. This is Straight Talk. We'll be right back.
It's a family affair, an eventist. Yes, it's that time of the year again for the 6th annual Bishop Edward Missick JP Memorial Back to School Fun Run Walk. It's on Saturday, August 12th at 6 a.m., beginning at First Holiness Church of God, Bamboo Town. This exciting event has been going on for the past 5 years. There will be health screening following the race, and trophies will be awarded to the top male and female finishers in each age division. This year's grand prize is a $250 travel gift certificate. For more information on the 6th annual Bishop Edward Missick JP Memorial Back to School Fun Run Walk, contact race organizers at 341-0582, 424-0594, or 395-4656. We want to see you at the finish line.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Sammy's Chicken $5.99 special.
Sammy's Chicken does it again! For a limited time only, it's the $5.99 Thigh Snack Special!
I tell you!
Sammy's $5.99 Thigh Snack Special comes with a 12-ounce Coke, that included!
See, I don't lie!
For a limited time only, Sammy's Chicken, Robinson Road, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Farrington Road, and the newly reopened Prince Charles location. Sammy's Chicken!
There is only one pharmacy in Nassau that never says no and offers you great service. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall. For all of your pharmaceutical and prescription needs. Pharmacy, great service is more than just giving prices. Filling your prescription is easy. Just call 322-3627 today. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall, Robinson Road. The pharmacy that never says no.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. Westwinds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction. The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit the mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Straight Talk with your host, Greg Colley and Matt Norbury. Our telephone lines are open, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. Or you can text us at 565-8896, 565-8896. And I want to just share a piece in the article of the Tribune today. Minister warns of casualties from fiscal right-sizing. Says the cabinet ministers warn there will be some casualties and that Bahamians will suffer some pain before there is gain, as the minister's administration tries to combat the growing fiscal crisis. Dionisio de Aguilar, Minister of Tourism and Aviation, told the Tribune Business that the government had no choice but to right-size the ship following the Christie administration's orgy of spending. Prior to the May 10th general election, he argued that there was irrefutable evidence of uncontrolled expenditure by the former administration, adding that the new government had only scratched the surface with what it had revealed to date. Mr. de Aguilar accused the prior government of paying out outrageous sums and using the public treasury as their own piggy bank. describing payments to consultants as a particular weak point for the government's financial controls. There will be some tough decisions to be made and some casualties, unfortunately, as we try and right-size the ship after the orgy of spending by the Progressive Liberal Party government in the last months of their administration. We were the cabinet ministers all very mindful of the condition the country is in and are trying to reduce unnecessary spending. We have reminded the Bahamian people to be patient and that there's going to be some pain before there is gain. Coming off this uncontrollable spending, there's going to be some cutbacks as we try and right-size the ship and prevent further downgrades. Mr. De Aguilar did not identify the likely casualties or how many there will be, but he was likely referring to workers hired on short-term 3-month contracts prior to the general election. Many are likely to be released from when those contracts expire, and the minister's administration is also likely to take a close look at the 6,500 persons it alleges were added to the public service during the Christie administration 2012-2017 tenure. Now, according to Kenwood Carr, Providence Advisors chief executive, he said that hard decisions would have to be made over these recruits. Based on annual salaries ranging from $14,300 to $20,000, he estimated that these 6,500 hires could have added $130 million per year to a government's tax-paying wage bill that was already over $600 million. As for the pain before there's gain, Mr. De Aguilar's comments could also mean a slimmer public service combined with cuts to spending programs that the administration sees as pork barrel or wasteful. Well, you know, my concern has always been that the Progressive Liberal Party's government has been expanding it, and we did not see where the revenues were coming from. But, and me personally, my personal opinion, I hate big governments, and I believe governments should not be the #1 employer in the country. They ought to be making headway to encourage commerce among the private sector. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Rev. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
I'm fine, sir.
Had a great weekend?
Yes, sir. You and your family, Mr. Audrey, family, everybody already.
Yes, man. Thank you very much. Everybody
right,
with you?
Yeah, Rev. Mr. Audrey, I concern. You mean government spend $80 million down there, the hospital ain't get no medicine, the clinic break down, and nothing happened? $25 million for Carnival. They wasn't checking for us. Get no medicine in the hospital. You can't get nothing. $80 million they spend there.
Well, you would recall several years ago, former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie, made a trip into North Andros. And he told us that he had a plan to create a new city in North Andros. And that BAMC will be the catalyst, the beginning of the creation of this new city. And he told the people in North Andros that the government spending millions of dollars elsewhere, he intended to spend $100 million in North Andros. Now, BAMC was created. They told us, Mr. Christie and the Minister of Agriculture, V. Alfred Gray at the time, one told us they already spent $15 million. The next time I hear the Prime Minister say, no, we didn't spend $23 million.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now the new Minister of Agriculture has just taken position, Renwood Wells, and there's an audit ongoing at BAMC, forensic audit, and they have just discovered that $10 million was being spent per year on operations and salaries at BAMC, and that they have discovered that $80 million has been spent in BAMC, in addition to all of this other things that we've been hearing, and that more is to come.
But what I'm saying, Mr. Audrey, I'm so shocked. But what I am saying is,
why are you shocked?
I am shocked because
have you not eaten any of those papayas from BAMSI?
No, sir. No, I tell you,
What else?
I know it's in the shop.
What
but
else did you not get from BAMSI? We are Bahamians. We're supposed to be supporting our own.
but
You've
Mr.
not
Audrey,
purchased anything from BAMSI?
no, sir, not yet.
Tell me your story.
Because I understand that things is be rotting down when you carry it to the place.
Okay. What
Yeah.
what did they tell you was rotting?
Well, they say pawpaws and all other things they just be rotten and there nobody won't buy them.
70% of the onions that are distributed in the Bahamas come from North
From
Andros and BAMSI. 70%.
But I am not saying, but Mr. Oliver, what I'm saying, that plenty too much money to put there and all the billing ain't finished. You still have to spend more money. That means my children and your grandchildren got to pay for this bill. So $80 million, I haven't seen anything for $80 million. Could they put that in the hospital, fix up the clinic, and fix the thing?
What do you hear coming out of the hospital today?
I understand that the machine break down.
I understand that the CAT scan machine is now being checked out to find out whether or not it had any damage, because there was flooding in the area of the Princess Margaret Hospital over the weekend,
Yes, sir.
and that some patients have to wait for 24 hours before they could get any kind of care. Well, this happened over the weekend, and that about 67 beds have been out of commission at Princess Margaret Hospital, and some of those patients are now being housed at the South Beach Clinic.
Yeah. You see, Mr. Aldrich, that's what I'm saying. Their money, they can take that and fix up these things. So that's why I don't hear them. Anytime they come on TV, I cut them off. Because, they have to come to me and say, well, I'm sorry for the wrong things I've done. Mr. Mitchell ain't saying that.
You think they're gonna tell you sorry?
But Rev, that's what I'm saying. Come on and tell me, say, look, we know we done wrong. I'm sorry. But they ain't saying that.
No, you will never hear them say they're sorry.
Because according to Mr. Davis, they haven't done no wrong.
Well,
And will never do any wrong.
Yes, sir.
well,
So-
what I'd like for Mr. Mitchell to tell me, and before we call in a forensic audit on him, I'd like for him to give us a report on the amount of money that he has spent over the last 5 years,
Yes, sir.
and tell us what benefit has it accrued to the Bahamas other than the $500,000 worth of pesticides or fertilizer that he got from Morocco.
Yes, sir.
I need to get more details from Mr. Mitchell. And I
Well-
hope he's listening, because I want him to know they are now counting the tickets.
Well, Rev, from they being to see the Pope, they say the Pope tell us something about that. We ain't had nothing but that. All that money going down the drain like that. No.
Well,
But maybe it's clouded in papal secrecy.
that's gone with the wind to the Vatican.
But anyhow, I just finished listening to you all. That's my 5 cents for the day.
Thank you very much.
All right, sir.
Friday. 3260271. 3260271. 3260272. 3260272. Or you can WhatsApp us at 565-8896. 565-96. I want to talk a little bit more about this VAT, because
Yes. Well,
VAT,
the VAT has caused misery for some people. And I do not believe that Bahamians as yet fully understand the seriousness of VAT and the country's economic crisis that we're in, which was brought on by the binge spending of the previous administration. No doubt, it cannot be denied. This is what has caused it, placed us in this position that we are in right now.
Exactly. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon, caller.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon. You on
Hey,
Straight Talk?
Good afternoon, sir. Everything's good?
Everything's good. How about you?
I'm Richard. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that, very, very, very interesting seasons we are in this country. You see now the Prime Minister saying there's a turn in terms of corruption, and it starts under his watch. So, when I hear people like Mitchell or any PLP, one of my biggest problem is with these gentlemen is that they make no sense. I wonder if they realize that they are the laughing stock of the region.
But they must think that we are a bunch of imbeciles to continue to listen to their rhetoric and to think that we don't have any sense.
No, but the funny part is they look like the biggest imbeciles. And I think that the problem was will be done as we elected fools, idiots, who have no sense at all. Because when you're spending $80 million on pharmacy, we can't even feed ourselves. We can't even see where the $80 million went. And, right now in this country, we have many things that need to be paid for, which we can't even afford. Simple, basic things. And yet we have people coming out speaking in terms of, they can't even, fix their homes after the hurricane and all.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of people roofs still exposed. They're not the some of them have tar paper on it, but I see some even the tar paper and asphalt shingles off the roof.
And see, this is the problem. So some here it's about the rule, this Manzi thing. Mm-hmm. Some here it's about the rule, and some people go into jail. And we don't care. We ain't feeling sorry for none of y'all, because y'all allow us to suffer, and y'all did not care. And the problem is, in this country, y'all didn't even know the custom rates on basic things in terms of rice and sugar. Even simple things y'all didn't want us to afford. These are evil things y'all done to us. And some here it's about the rules. And trust me, brother, if I was yours, I would probably admit right now, just tell us what all y'all do. Hello?
Yes, we're listening.
Just tell us what all y'all do. Just make it easier. Mm-hmm. Because the longer y'all take, the more we can be crying for some hairs to be rolled.
And I believe the Bahamian people voted exactly for that, for some hairs to roll.
Well, listen to this, caller. I'm looking at today's edition of the Tribune under the headline and the editorial, Bahamians must concentrate on rebuilding their country. And it says, we agree, that is the Tribune, in its editorial. We agree with former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram that elections, rather than a short time in prison, settle scores between populations and politicians. It says Bahamians have possibly for the first time learned the power of their vote. With it, they can deliver the most devastating verdict of all against politicians who have betrayed their trust. The former Prime Minister, Mr. Ingram, was quoted as saying, if crimes are committed, criminal activities committed, and police have evidence, then police ought to proceed with it against whomever, non-politicians. He went on, Mr. Ingram that is, to say, but there ought not to be a witch hunt against people. If there's evidence somebody abused their authority in office or evidence of misfeasance, then that's possible, but not to do otherwise. He says he comes from the school of thought that generally speaking, elections settle scores between the populations and politicians. And sometimes a loss is a bigger punishment for them than 6 months in prison, because he or she spends the rest of their life with this thing that they regard as humiliation.
You see, that's where I disagree.
Is that enough?
See, that's where
is that enough?
The caller is gone, right?
Caller, you still there?
No, he's gone. You see, that's where I disagree with the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram.
Yes.
It's not a lifetime. We've seen politicians voted out of office over the last 20 years Go out for 5.
And come back.
Come back for another 5.
Fresh.
Go out for 5.
Come back fresh.
Come back for. Look at Leslie Miller, for instance. Leslie Miller has been in and out every 5 years for the past 20 years.
And showing up fresh.
Yes. So that assessment tells you that he is out of date, out of touch with what's going on. That is not sufficient, Mr. Ingram, I must tell you. We must, in this new modern Bahamas, particularly the way elections have been going, and with the people's money being, you are rewarding people to part with taxpayers' money for them, their families, their friends and lovers to enjoy for the rest of their life, making them kingpin.
I know them in prison. Just say what they did. Just expose it. If the police find some information, well, he would prefer to have a commission of inquiry where you can be sending for people and papers
and making no sense.
Place to place and time to time.
Wasting time and wasting public's money.
Television cameras broadcasting it live so that they could all see Mr. So-and-so tell us, I can't recall. But you know what? Bahamians nowadays seem more anxious to open the prison gates for those whom they perceive as political offenders.
Well, the last caller told you that they prepared for that.
The Tribune today is saying they strongly advise that you turn your full attention to helping rebuild the nation and let the police deal with the suspected political offenders and the offenses, and you take a backseat. Sit on the fence and watch the action. Or grab some popcorn and turn on the television. That's what they want us to do.
We will do no such thing, Mr. Albury.
Relax.
We're not going to relax.
Relax. And let carry out their duty.
We're going to let the police carry their duty, but where we have information, we are going to share it, because a lot of people knows exactly what went down. They were part of it. And so we're going to let the police do their job, but we want justice to take place.
Well, the police has done their job in one instance where the Member of Parliament, former Member of Parliament, Ken Red Dossett, charged before the courts last week, 9 counts. Now the ex-minister, after being before the courts, remanded to the Department of Correctional Services for one night, has been released on $50,000 bail in his bribery case, expected back in court on August 31st. Some people are telling me they are satisfied that Mr. Dossett was able to spend one night, they say.
They're happy with that.
For them.
You don't need any more.
They can let him go tomorrow. No problem. They just wanted somebody from the PLP to be in Fox Hill for one night. And now we can move on and get towards rebuilding this country. But how can I sit back, relax, turn on the television with my box of popcorn when every day I look in the paper, I see something going on? Like Desmond Bannister, the Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, telling us that we must let the chips fall where they may because there are consequences. Desmond Bannister, the Minister of Public Works, saying to us that the Minister's administration is not interested in blaming members of the Christie administration for every ill facing the country. Not so. But he says there must be consequences for wrongdoing. They're not interested in no blame game, but there must be consequences. The Bahamian people want to see consequences for actions. If something has happened that is wrong, it is important, first of all, for us to share that with the public because they want to know, well, We want to know everything. And you've been telling us a lot of things. But for now, we only see where the ex-minister, Environment and Housing, Kenred Dawson, released from custody by the Supreme Court Friday afternoon after getting bailed $50,000 with 2 sureties in his case where he's facing 9 charges. And I heard some people out there talking about others on their way. Well, let the chips fall where they may. But in the meantime, though, let's concentrate on rebuilding a better Bahamas, because many of us want to see things come to betterment.
Okay, we have another caller on the line. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Straight Talk. How you all doing?
We're doing good. How about you?
Well, all right. Listen, yesterday, and they wanted to open a Fitzgerald case. You all hear anything with that?
No.
But that's what I'm hearing.
That's it?
What I'm hearing. Well, I mean, that's what I'm hearing. They wanted to open up Fitzgerald case now.
They want to open up Fitzgerald case?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they called the show last night. I sit down in my bed. Listen, they want Fitzgerald case open up. Open up. Let's open that up.
All right.
And that'll be a next one going to jail.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
You know, they don't feel like how our family feel going up in that Foxwood prison bus, you know. Oh Lord, I want to say something, but I couldn't say it. I think I better call you back and talk that private.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Have another call? All right. 3260271. 3260271. 3260272. 3260272. Text us at 565-8896. 565-8896. This is a WhatsApp message. Hi, Mr. Colley and Mr. Aubrey. When I become an MP, I will not waste the Bahamian people money going from state to state with a bunch of young men behind me. I can't like man that much. Well, I wonder who he's talking about.
If I were you, I'd carry nobody with me.
Well, it'd be just as bad if you carry a bunch of women behind you. Eh?
Well, you know, and he brings me to another point that I wanted to make here this afternoon. And that is, he brought me to the point, to the last 5 years, of the former Foreign Affairs Minister, Fred Mitchell, who believed that the job of a foreign minister was to travel the continents of the world. In 2013, Mr. Mitchell announced that he intended to take most of that year off to spend in the Middle East and Asia, looking for investments to fund what he described as our capital-starved treasury. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know how much the Bahamian people benefited from what Mr. Mitchell said he was going to do. But I remember the following year, he arrived with what he claimed was $500,000 worth of high-grade phosphate fertilizer as a gift from the Moroccan government. Now, what did we do with all of that fertilizer? And how much did the Treasury of the Bahamas benefited from that trip that Mr. Mitchell made? Because he assured Bahamians that it was showing a strong relationship between the Bahamas and Morocco. He got that $500,000 worth of fertilizer from the Moroccan government.
What will we do? What will we do with the fertilizer?
He took it to Bamsi. That's where we were able to grow all of those papaya. You remember those papayas that are growing in Bamsi?
I don't remember that because I haven't seen any.
Well, Mr. Mitchell That's only 1 year. He said he was taking about 6 months. He's going to travel the Middle East and Asia to bring back business to the country. Now, Mr. Mitchell, that was in 2013. Mr. Mitchell was here until May 10th, 2017. And he has to tell us how much money did he spend as Minister of Foreign Affairs, because they might do an audit of the ministry, but they're trying to find out, Mr. Mitchell, how well did you account for what you did as a Minister of Foreign Affairs representing the Commonwealth of the Bahamas as a globe trotter. That's what they want to find out.
Well, we had the music playing in the background. We're coming up on our second break. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our discussion. But I want to talk some more about VAT.
Yes,
that's
VAT and BAMSI.
VAT and BAMSI, and also we're going to talk about this revelation, this continuous revelation of our country's fiscal conundrum.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but I'm very, very hot under the collar to think that the government or a government would deliberately mislead, would pull the wool over the eye, so to speak, of the people and the international community by reporting
rosy pictures.
Rosy pictures.
They painted the rosy pictures ever.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. This is Straight Talk. Your host, Greg Corley and Martin Albury. We're coming back after we hear from our sponsors.
There is only one pharmacy in Nassau that never says no and offers you great service. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall for all of your pharmaceutical and prescription needs. At Doc's Pharmacy, great service is more than just giving prices. Filling your prescription is easy. Just call 322-3627 today. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall, Robinson Road. The pharmacy that never says no.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs. It's a family affair, an event you don't want to miss. Yes, it's that time of the year again for the 6th annual Bishop Edward Mystic JP Memorial Back to School Fun Run Walk. It's on Saturday, August 12th at 6 a.m., beginning at First Holiness Church of God, Bamboo Town. This exciting event has been going on for the past 5 years. There will be health screening following the race, and trophies will be awarded to the top male and female finishers in each age division. This year's grand prize is a $250 travel gift certificate. For more information on the 6th annual Bishop Edward Mystic JP Memorial Back to School Fun Run Walk, contact race organizers at 341-0582, 424-0594, or 395-4656. We want to see you at the finish line.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction. The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road.
Peanuts! Peanuts! Extra, extra, read all about it. Sammy's Chicken $5.99 special.
Sammy's Chicken does it again. For a limited time only, it's the $5.99 thigh snack special.
I tell you.
Sammy's $5.99 thigh snack special comes with a 12-ounce Coke, that included.
See, I don't lie.
For a limited time only, Sammy's Chicken, Robinson Road, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Farrington Road, and the newly reopened Prince Charles location. Sammy's Chicken.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit the mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Welcome back to our final session. Well, not our final, but our final hour.
Yes.
Final hour of Straight Talk. If you're just joining us, we'd like to welcome you. This is Straight Talk, and we're coming to you live from Global 99.5 FM in beautiful Nassau, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It's your host, Greg Colley and Martin Aubrey. Before we took the break, we were talking about the fiscal position of our country. The Christie administration, according to records, added $2.2 billion to the national debt during its stay in office. This is a record for a 5-year term. It did this despite the benefits of more than $1.1 billion in value-added tax revenues during the 2-year 2015-2016 period, which generated an additional net $756 million for the public treasury. This outturn led many, including Royal Bank of Canada's RBC top Caribbean economists, to suggest that the Bahamas was squandering the benefits of the region's best VAT. You had experts and different people from various countries saying how well the VAT was implemented, how smooth it was, and
you know what they said to her? Mm-hmm. She was speaking over in Atlantis. I recall that event. Mm-hmm. And when she was finished,
they castigated her.
She was finished talking. Mm-hmm. They say, that was a white woman. Tell that white woman to mind her business. Stay out of big people, Bahamian business. Mm-hmm. Go talk when you go back home.
So she was out of order.
Very much so. Mm-hmm. She has no business, no jurisdiction over what transpires in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. She was off her legs, and she needed to keep quiet. That's what they told her.
Well, let's look at it. By comparison, the 2007-2012 Ingram administration added $1.5 billion to the national debt. So you had the Christie-led government, $2.2 billion. Ingram, $1.5 billion. And so far, in its first year in office, $722 million being borrowed by the administration.
And they are in opposition right now, questioning why Hubert Minnis administration have to borrow first year in office $722 million. Why? I heard Mr. Chester Cooper offering assistance to the new government as to how they can turn this crisis into a celebration in the Bahamas. You need our help, he says, then we are ready to assist. But you should forego borrowing the $722 million.
Don't borrow the $320 million.
Don't do it.
So don't borrow the $320.
Don't do it. Don't borrow the
320.
So you don't borrow the 320
320 out of the 722.
Don't borrow it.
No.
Just borrow $400 million.
Yeah.
And pay off the bills Christie left behind.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't borrow nothing for your own.
Well, let's see where we can have the shortfall. Don't get no new money.
No new money. Just pay off the previous commitments made by the.
And we will help you to raise the next $400 million that you need. We'll help you to raise it.
Well, I have a good plan that we can get that money to pay off, and we don't have to borrow it. What we should require or should embark upon is the examination. Since the member of parliament would not submit to the Disclosure Act of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, maybe we should have implement a retroactive law that will require every sitting member of parliament, including those previous, to examine their accounts to see how much money they have in those accounts.
Yes.
To see how much they have taken out and have those monies cover down the national debt.
No, they will be able to show you that they made some
no,
of that money
they must be
from selling fish.
Well, they must sell the whole country's fish.
They will show you.
For what I'm hearing, some of those people have in their bank accounts.
Yes.
They must have sold.
They've been selling plenty fish and crawfish.
If they cannot prove where they got those money, confiscated to the state to pay down the national debt. See, that's the one thing what further irks me by what Mr. Ingram said. We, the taxpayers, the people, have to pay this money back. We have to be saddled with high taxes. And you can't just let politicians steal our money and then let it go like that. Waste it. Even where they didn't steal it, where they wasted, where they squandered it, where they were neglectful, willfully neglectful, they should be made to account. You don't just waste people's money. I look at that every time I drive past Rodney Bain building.
Yes.
Mr. Ingram bought that during his administration. The Perry Gladstone Christie people left it there. Now Mr. Minnis is in charge. When I pass this old City Market building,
you're
opposite
on Market
C.R.
Street.
Walker, yes,
on Market Street.
That's the taxpayers' money. And we wasting money. We have all these buildings sitting there just wasting public funds. And I can go on with several others.
Yes, we entered a 14 million public-private partnership to build or renovate a building or construct a new one for the General Post Office. You remember that?
I remember.
Yes. We have the General Post Office on East Hill Street that is now dilapidated. I'm told that staff are now working, 2 to 4 hours a day at that place because it is in bad shape. And who is to blame? Government after government neglected to maintain the building. So therein lies our problem. Maintain anything. We just let it go to rot.
Another thing I want to talk about.
Well, then look again. Go down to University Boulevard. Across the street from the University of the Bahamas. There's a building there. Ministry of Labor was in it. Road Traffic Department was in it.
You're talking about Clarence Avian
Where
building?
are they with that building? Another building. What are they going to do? I understand. They want to turn it now into dormitories for the University of the Bahamas. But when they do that structural, what you call that?
Review?
When you're checking the sturdiness of the building, whether it's worthy to continue maintaining it or to just implode the structure.
Listen, we don't need no expert to tell us that those three buildings, that BTC building and Ministry of Works, when were they built?
60 years ago.
You sure it's only 60?
Well, I say 60. That's putting it very mildly.
And how much economic is on a commercial building?
It's a what do you call it? Declining process every year. There's no appreciation.
Listen, I understand that when you see they buy cars for the government, they depreciate it. by the end of 4 years, they have a zero or $1 value on the books. People are able to buy those cars for nothing.
Yes.
What we don't maintain, what we don't upkeep, those buildings, especially that one at Clarence ABN, that's probably the worst of all of them.
That's the number one.
Yeah. That simply needs to be imploded and be wise to find
I heard
money.
I heard somebody talking about creating dormitories.
That's nonsense.
The University of the Bahamas.
The University of the Bahamas have dormitories from the College of Bahamas in the back of Oaksfield that they've left themselves dilapidated. You remember they had dormitories in the back here?
Oh yes, I remember.
Did they upkeep them?
No, they didn't. No, they did not. But this is our main problem.
Now,
the problem is maintenance.
I'm wondering if there is a special section of the government that has all of the assets of the Bahamas government listed, that they know where all of the Bahamian assets are. You think they know that?
No, we will have to assist them in identifying where most of them are. Because once they stop using the facilities, they do not remember where they are located. We can go throughout the family of islands and find the very same thing. A long list of government buildings that are no longer in use. And you know what's happening? They are renting from everybody that has a facility or building available, as opposed to renovating the ones that they have that can now be renovated.
You remember I told you a story the day a fella asked me if I want to rent one place.
Yes.
Now, I am comfortable in my own place right now.
Yes.
Why would I leave that to go rent someplace else?
Because if he has spent $1 with you, he wants to be able to recoup that plus hundreds of more dollars. You see how it goes?
So I mean,
many of us are now, we are descendants of Greece mentality.
You don't happen to Greece, eh?
Yes, sir.
Ain't Greece in trouble?
Big time. And I'm being told that if the Bahamas does not get its house in order and utilize this VAT money correctly, we could be on our way to Greece.
And we may get in Greece.
You'll be on your way to GREECE. Not GREASE. It's not the same.
It's different altogether.
And I do not want us to take that trip because Greece is in
deep trouble,
plenty trouble,
and we're heading that direction. I just give you the figures, ladies and gentlemen. Under the Hubert Ingram administration, 2007, 2012, 1.5 billion added to the national debt. Christie administration best that by $700,000 to $2.2 billion. Now we can't. Each administration, and it just keep going up and up and up and up. We cannot.
And they're saying you should not tell Moody's these kinds of things because you are giving Moody's information that they really do not need to have.
And remember now, the Christie administration, when they came in, how they, for years, throughout their continued tenure, talk about how bad Hubert Ingram left the country in.
Yes. Yes, I recall former chairman. No,
but they said they were going to fix it.
The chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, who was speaking more so than any other minister of the government at the time. I'll call him the Right Honorable Bradley Roberts, the Progressive Liberal Party, who told us that Hubert Ingram administration left the country's economic affairs in a wheelchair. We were crippled, he said, and that the Christie administration came into power. And in less than 5 months, they were able to turn that $100 million deficit overrun on road construction that Mr. Ingram and his administration left in place, and millions of dollars in debt, they were able to turn that around and put the Bahamas on sound footing, heading in a new direction. And lo and behold, when the books were opened 5 years later, I heard not a single peep from Mr. Roberts as to how we got to be in the situation where we are right now, where the new government, once they opened the books, some people were saying the cupboard was bare, and they don't know how the cupboard could be bare, and this Minister administration could increase the funding of the official funeral for Dr. B.J. Nottage last week from $10,000 to $50,000. So the cupboard was not bare, they say. Now, but when the FNM came to power a couple of weeks ago, they found out that what you were telling us about this $100 million deficit, then you say no, it could possibly be $350 million deficit, now turns out to be $500 million deficit. Who is the answer for that? And then you tell the Minister of Finance, Mr. Peter Turnquest, you shouldn't say these things in your budget communication. You should keep those things in the country. You whisper those things. You do not deliver that in your budget communication, because you will cause Moody's, then Standard & Poor's, followed by the International Monetary Fund, to be at your front door, knocking, to let you know that we thank you for that information. We thank you for exposing your previous government for telling us lies and their rosy pictures of your economy. We thank you for telling us that. Now here is your reward. We've heard nothing from Mr. Bradley Roberts on the state of affairs of the country and its economy. And he's a man who got all the information because he's on vacation and he takes copious notes. And then they didn't tell us that BAMSI was costing the taxpayers $10 million per year on operations and salaries. $10 million per year. How long BAMSI been in existence? 5 years now? $10 million a year for the last 5 years, plus a dormitory destroyed by fire with no insurance. The price is going up. Now, we are told that a new dormitory was supposed to be under construction and that they were bringing in more experts to teach our children how to farm. And they will be doing animal experiments and also teaching farmers how to multiply and to increase in their output and returns.
Well,
$80 million.
That's a lot of money, and we still are pumping money. The new Minister administration has committed to continue with BAMSI because I believe they believe that BAMSI is a good idea, but it has to be fixed. It has to be right size. It has to be, I guess, prioritized in terms of what we really wanted to do and fix a short, medium, and long term what we intend to get out of it. So far, I have not personally. It hasn't touched me. I don't know whether it's touched you. I have not. You talk about papaya. I haven't seen any papaya. I haven't tasted any. I don't know what else they produce down at Bamsey. Bananas. I don't know. I have not seen it. But maybe we're going to take a trip probably to the exchange.
We have to go to the exchange.
We're going to the exchange, and we're going to go to the Bamsey store down the road, and we're going to check it out for ourselves and see what we discover there.
Yes.
But again, back to this VAT. You know, it seems like the Progressive Liberal Party's government used VAT to create projects to funnel money. John Canoe Carnival, urban renewal, election jobs, and consultants, because we cannot see anything tangible which has resulted from this expenditure. I heard Mr. Davis in his voice note the other day talk about the policy of the FNM to disengage people in large numbers. Which is perhaps we need to do a check facts on what he said, because sometimes people will allow politicians to get away with these general statements without checking the facts, and certainly loose lips sink ships. So we have to make sure that these facts are checked and corroborated.
What did Mr. Davis have to say? Any recollection? I could either agree with him, or I could disavow or knock it down completely. Because I don't forget very many things.
Well, one of the things
said over the last 5 years.
Well, one of the things he said about their policy of stop and review and cancel.
Yes.
You know, that's always been their mantra, their propaganda machine, to say that's what the FNM will do.
Yes.
In fact, they use that quite prominently in their rallies leading up to the general election of May 10, saying in people's minds, listen, don't elect the FNM because they're going to stop, review, and cancel.
Yes.
What have we done? Well, nobody had to stop, review, and cancel the project on the sports center. Remember the stadium they built? Who stopped and review and cancel that?
Stopped. The contractor stopped.
Who stopped that?
Because they were waiting to get paid.
Who stopped that?
And that's been stopped months before the May 10th general election.
So you think they're going to blame the FNM for stopping that?
No, they need to find $21 million.
Where did that money go? See, that's another one. We ain't know where that money go.
They need to find $21 million that was allocated for the construction of the Andre Rogers Baseball Park across the street from the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis,
who is now leader of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition.
Can you tell us what is the update on the Andre Rogers Baseball Diamond construction? Where I see one long crane still heading to the skies. And it's been in that position, that very same position, for the last 5 months. Where somebody named Osprey or
no.
I try to remember. I gotta look at it again when I pass it.
No, it ain't Osprey.
Some name on the fence. And only time
you just knocked the name right out of my head.
You see a light on, it's in the nighttime. One blue car parked outside the gate. I think a security.
Somebody will call us and give us a name.
Security is still on the job. But that's one. What else did Mr. Brave Davis say the new government might stop, review, and cancel? Well, let me just go back
he said
to this.
The government have a habit of terminating jobs.
Yes, well, let's go back to this. We were told by the Minister of State for Public Works, Brenzel Roll, working out of the office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public service and national insurance. We were told by Mr. Roll That's some 6,500.
Before I forget, let me send our condolences to Minister Brenzel Roll on the passing of his father, who was buried in Black Point, Exuma over the weekend. We send our condolences to him.
Yes, we do. Yes, Mr. Rule told us that some 6,500 persons were employed in the public service just before the May 10th general election. And that the employment added some $10 million public price. You remember that? In expenditures.
Mm-hmm.
So did Mr. Davis say it's going to be some stop, review, and canceling of those contracts with the Bahamas government?
And I want to say thank you for what's that best dressed man you say was called?
Ezekiel, the best dressed man. Still on the job.
The name is Woosley.
Woosley. Thank you very much. That's the one. I apologize to Osprey. I don't know who either of those people are, but I just see the crane with the name on it. That's been idle for 5 months.
Oh boy.
That's what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Straight Talk. If you're just joining us, this is Global 99.5 FM. It's your host, Gregory Colley and Martin Aubrey, and we will be right back after we hear from our sponsors with our final segment.
An event you don't want to miss. Yes, it's that time of the year again for the 6th annual Bishop Edward Missick JP Memorial Back to School Fun Run Walk. It's on Saturday, August 12th at 6 a.m., beginning at First Holiness Church of God, Bamboo Town. This exciting event has been going on for the past 5 years. There will be health screening following the race, and trophies will be awarded to the top male and female finishers in each age division. This year's grand prize is a $250 travel gift certificate. For more information on the 6th annual Bishop Edward Missick JP Memorial Back to School Fun Run Walk, contact race organizers at 341-0582, 424-0594, or 395-4656. We want to see you at the finish line.
There is only one pharmacy in Nassau that never says no and offers you great service. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall for all of your pharmaceutical and prescription needs. At Doc's Pharmacy, great service is more than just giving prices. Filling your prescription is easy. Just call 322-3627 today. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall, Robinson Road. The pharmacy that never says no.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential, and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166, West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction. The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road.
Peanuts! promoted Sammy's Chicken $5.99 special.
Sammy's Chicken does it again. For a limited time only, it's the $5.99 thigh snack special.
I tell you.
Sammy's $5.99 thigh snack special comes with a 12-ounce Coke, that included.
See, I don't lie.
For a limited time only, Sammy's Chicken, Robinson Road, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Farrington Road, and the newly reopened Prince Charles location. Sammy's Chicken.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit your mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Give me some straight talk, and hold the sugar, please. Straight talk, sounds plenty sweet to me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Straight Talk with your host, Greg Colley and Martin Aubrey. And I was trying to get a voice message from the leader of the opposition, Brave Davis, but I'm having some technical difficulties, but I will continue to do so. But Martin, we were talking before we took the break that he had made a number of pronouncements. He said that the FNM has a history of terminating people.
Yes, well, there is a situation in Grand Bahama where the new government, well, the previous government, entered into a contract for the construction of a new junior high school in West Grand Bahama. I think the contract was for about $10-15 million, and they split the work between two contractors with the same scope of work on the same contract to do the same kind of work. You get one half and I get the next half. Well, when the Minister of Works was able to look at that particular contract, his junior, the Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Hiram Lewis, was able to find out that some $4 million was paid to the contractors before they even start working as interest in that project. Well, common sense would dictate that once the government changed, the new government came into power, and they saw that kind of arrangement, it would house, and it did. And as a result, that contract that was split in two is now under review. It has not been cancelled. It has been stopped, because I think they might even have discovered some engineering or some structural inefficiencies that must be corrected before they can proceed. Did Mr. Davis refer to that particular contract as one that is being stopped, reviewed, or cancelled? And then there's another that comes to mind. In Freeport, Grand Bahama, I think it's the hurricane protection wall that is being constructed. It has been determined that that wall, too, is given to a particular contractor who did not follow all of the procedures and the corrective measures. That, too, is now under review. Is Mr. Davis referring to the seawall in Grand Bahama?
I don't think he's talking about that. But let's go to phone lines. Welcome, Straight Talk caller. Good afternoon.
Hey, afternoon, Reverend Martin.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Oh, great, son. You're not surprised about the $80 million, right?
I am
Not a
shocked.
surprise?
I am shocked.
I am shocked because the last word I
No,
heard.
man.
Listen.
I am not.
Caller,
Remember the former Prime Minister said if Mr. Ingram could have $100 million on the overrun, so he could spend $100 million and $100.
no,
That means that he have a $20 million savings.
let's make sure we get it right. I don't want you to misquote Mr. Perry Christie.
What did
He
he say?
says he was going to spend $100 million to create a city, Andros,
Okay, city.
and that Bombsey will be the catalyst.
Okay.
Now you can continue from where I left off.
Well, if it's only, San Antonio, you only got to spend $80 million, so there is still a $20 million savings
Well,
on completing that city.
not so fast. Not
No?
so fast, because Mr. Redwood Wells, the minister responsible for agriculture,
Yes.
says they are still looking at some papers.
Oh, okay. So it could. Okay, so the 20 plus could come up there. That's what it meant.
You sound like you cannot catch your breath.
Okay. Then I got you.
You need to take a break?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that they tell us are still.
Yes.
But Mr. Philip Brave Davis, the former Minister of Public Works and Urban Renewal,
Yes.
is telling us that this new government seems to be all about putting people on the unemployment line. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
No, I don't think so. If you are somewhere you don't need it, obviously, you don't need to be employed. If there's not enough work, you don't need to be employed. You know, I work only when there's work.
Well,
nobody pays me for being there.
I'm being told that they spend $10 million per year on operations and salaries for BAMC, but they have no idea as to how many people are employed there.
Sound like it's an open house.
Because they say every other day somebody is showing up with a contract. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down. Somebody is showing up with a contract every other day to say, I'm employed at BAMC. I've been doing this particular job. I've not been paid, and I've come to get paid.
Caller, what do you think? I have been told of several cases where persons have just on some jobs in the public service. They have letter that goes back from March and April, but they just come. But they just come into work in July.
But those positions probably only became available after election. That's all I could say.
No, but they have letters from March.
Yes, but their position wasn't available yet. It was available depending on the outcome of the election, I guess. who win, lose or draw. That's all. That's only I could picture that. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Y'all have a good day.
You do. Okay.
Okay.
3260271. 3260271. 3260272. 3260272. Or you can WhatsApp or text us at 565-8896. 565-8896. Tell our regulars which other number to call. You have that already. So you know, if you can't get that one, you called me on that, you get me on the other one. But if you're just joining us, we'd like to welcome you. This is Straight Talk, and we're coming to you live from Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Greg Colley, along with my co-host, Martin Albury.
Yes. Now, I'm hearing from Mr. Desmond Bannister, the minister responsible for public works. See, he understood, for example, people were going down to Andros with contracts in their hands, and they would give them to their supporters. The people would then start work, and they would have that work that was unscoped, and They then come to the Ministry of Works and looking to get paid. Mr. Bannister told us that he terminated 4 contracts. He said the contract totaled millions and millions of dollars. And based on the names he saw, they were clearly political supporters of the other side, the former government. Some of them are not people you know to be capable contractors in that community in North Andros. Some of them were not contractors at all. He said he was concerned. The buildings. There are a number of concerns that are arising because many of the contracts were for building at BAMSI. And those buildings ought to have had some timeline as to when they would be completed. But you're saying the previous administration, they gave me a contract. I go to North Andros. I show my contract to the man in charge of the buildings. They say, MA, go to work. I then leave North Andros, come back to Nassau, and could go back at the end of the month.
Should I see him contract?
I showed him my contract, show him the scope of work, and I collect my money. No problem. You see what we were faced with? Had there not been an intervention, a change of government, you think Mr. Brave Davis, Mr. Bradley Roberts, Mr. V. Alfred Gray, Mr. Fred Mitchell, Glennis Hannah Martin, would you have told us about these things? Well, you're not in power anymore. And I'm hearing them from Mr. Desmond Bannister. You think in the position that he is now holding, Minister of Public Works, that he will tell us things that are not true? Showing a blame game? I think not. I don't think Mr. Bannister would do such a thing. Did the government receive value for money in BAMSI? That's the question. And he is saying emphatically, the answer in many cases is no. He's describing BAMSI as a confusing puzzle because of the way that it was done. Back to Mr. Philip Brave Davis, the Minister of Public Works, former Minister responsible for Urban Renewal 2.0. BAMSI, Mr. Davis, we are being told, is a confusing puzzle in the way that you did it. But you have referred to BAMSI as one of the most important initiatives to be implemented by the previous Christie administration. And now we are discovering that you were spending $10 million per year in operational costs and salaries, and that you are very, very near to the $100 million that former Prime Minister Perry Christie told us, promised us, he was going to use. Mr. Ingram could have a $100 million overrun on road construction in New Providence, and the people of Andros, North Andros in particular, deserve to have the expenditure of $100 million to create a brand new city in North Andros, and to have BAMSI as the main engine propelling North Andros on its way to this new city. 80 million and counting.
Well, it gets worse because you know, as I look at what Mr. Diaghilev had to say, and he had some more to say about the dire straits of the economy. He said that the Progressive Liberal Party used the government-owned piggy bank. He said, I see the sums that were flying out, outrageous sums flowing to people. While he did not name any names or give specifics, he said they completely lost touch with the people on the streets earning $210 a week, and these guys were paying themselves vast private sector salaries, he added. A major international weakness of the government's financial controls are these consultants. They have no limit on what they earn. They randomly pick a figure out of the sky, and it's never revealed how much is paid to them. Mr. Diaghilev has already stirred one consultant-related controversy when he attacked the former administration's culture consultant, Mr. Ian Poitier. You remember Mr. Ian Poitier?
Oh, I sure
for
do.
receiving a $1 million contract paying $400,000 per annum. The minister was speaking out after expressing confidence that a further junk downgrade of the Bahamas sovereign worthiness, this time by Moody's, would not further impact the Nassau Airport Development Company's NAD credit rating. NAD, Nassau Airport Development Company, and the Linden International Airport, the last downgrade forced them to double its bond reserve from 19 million to 38 million. For that, they had to double it. Their bond rating, they had a bond reserve fund of 19 million. After the junk downgrade, they had to double it.
Yes.
To $38 million. After Standard & Poor's downgrade the Bahamas junk status prior to Christmas of 2016. The action taken by Fitch, which rates NAD, was sparked by the perceived increased country risk as a result of S&P's action. And I don't think Fitch would consider a further downgrade at this time. They've just done their assessment. By this time next year, or the next review, they will have to have seen progress by the government in trying to operate a lean and mean government, trying to cut waste and see where we can save. I think it would be a little premature for them, Fitch, to do that. They need to wait and see whether we perform. And I believe that is a reasonable expectation that before any of the rating agencies take any action, they got to see what this new government, see what signals they're sending, whether they are going to tighten up its belt, implement some austerity measures, and cut some fat.
Well, we know that the previous government was not about cutting any fat.
Oh, they're about putting fat on.
They are not about decreasing any workforce. They're not about that. Bringing on as many people as possible and giving you small change. You see? That's how we operate it. We give everybody a little bit.
Half a loaf.
Give them
a piece of loaf.
Half a loaf is better than one. They keep telling me. They give you one, then you're going to be gluttonous. Give you too much at one time. A little bit
spoon feed you
at a time. And it's because of these kinds of things that they do that when this new government came in and started looking at this and checking that and hearing what Mr. K. Peter Turnquest, the Minister of Finance, had to say concerning the fiscal condition of the country in the budget, they really didn't want too much of that to be heard, because they are now arguing that the government, this new government, has jeopardized the Bahamas' sovereign credit rating, because Mr. K. Peter Turnquest was giving out too much at one time to this some of what was going on. Put it under a veil. Do not reveal all one time. And they are getting weary as we speak. They are getting weary. They do not want you to come out with too much, because what you asked is that they exercised for spending, and that you are now casting the blame on administration for taking the country to the brink, on the edge of another economic downgrade. But some of us, many of us, we are glad that the Hubert Minnis administration is revealing to us the true state of the economic affairs of the country. But the opposition is saying, don't say anything further about that, because you're going to hurt the reputation of the Bahamas. And at the same time, what you need to do is stop telling people about things we have done or things that we failed to do. And I heard Mr. Philip Brave Davis once again praising former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, for joining in the opposition chorus that the government should not touch sea, that the government should not touch Bahama. Mr. Ingram is supporting what the opposition has said already, and asking to take a hands-on approach to Bahama. And Mr. Davis is praising former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram for taking that very same position as the opposition, and tell Mr. Minnis and his government to let Bahama roll on. But like many others, as I said, I'm happy, I'm glad, is revealing the true state of the country's economic affairs.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon, Martin.
How are you?
Yeah, I have something to say quickly. Telling you go join back to the PLDA. You see, put the first around, right? I don't know what he's dealing with, man. He didn't go join back to the PLD, man. Stop joking. He's trying to get rid of the corruption gang. Yeah, well, I don't know what he's dealing with.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it? Thank you. Well, that's the last caller, and well, let's wrap it up. Time for us to call it a day.
I'll see you on Wednesday. Time is gone already.
Yeah, man, time is going so quickly.
Ready to give you another dissertation.
I know that. Well, I want to say thank you for listening this afternoon to your telephone calls and your WhatsApp text messages. We want to thank you for your participation. Those of you who join us via Facebook and on the internet, www.globalradio995fm.com. I want to thank all of our listeners, and we want to thank our producer and engineer, Nathan, to my co-host, Martin Albury, and to all of our listeners out there. We want to thank you for another fine edition of Straight Talk. Today's show has been brought to you by Doc's Pharmacy, located Robinson Road by Master Assist, located Village Road by Nature's Gifts Fresh Roasted Peanuts, located Market Street South by Sammy's Chicken, 5 locations to choose from, by First Choice Appraisals and Sales, and by Geneva Brass Seafood, located Eden Street off Farndon Road, and also by the 6th annual Bishop Edward Mizik Fun Run Walk coming up on August 12th. Yes, and you have a chance to win $250 grand prize. You just have to join, sign up, and participate, and get in shape. Of course, it'll benefit you physically, and also we'll have lots of good time and fellowship. So once again, on behalf of my co-host Martin Aubrey, our producer and engineer Nathan, this is your host Greg Colley. This has been Straight Talk. Good afternoon.